we recently told each other all the stuff I think that we didn't want to tell each other that we did, that I'm just like, you know what, sometimes I feel like being 22, and sometimes I feel like, not even having another girlfriend, because I don't want another girlfriend. There's no one I know that I would rather date besides her. But it's just like, just like chilling with girls, just flirting at the bar or whatever. Like, it's just fun. It's just, sometimes I just want to have fun. And I told her that, and she told me sometimes, I want to do the same thing. I want to be 21, and I told her, I'm like, I haven't been single since I was literally, like, I think that the last time I was single I was, like, 14 years old. And she was like, well, I got that single time, but I don't even think I'm done with it. And I told her, I was like, well, I never got that, and I don't even know what it's like. My name is Barbara Betrago, and I am 22 years old.
What else is giving you stress?
The ladies. The ladies stress me out. I have a girlfriend now for a little over 3 years. She's a great girl. She is literally, like, cookie cut out, like, everything that I've ever wanted in a person. But for whatever reason, like, lately we're just not making it work. She's just so perfect. Like, my family, like, loves her more than they love me. Like, everything about her, she's so responsible. She deals with my shit. She's like, we're such opposites from each other that we complement each other so well. But sometimes I feel like I just want to be 22 and, see what else is around. But then part of me kind of feels stupid because I'm like, you got what you need, so what are you doing? But she's a big part of why I'm stressed out sometimes. But I think it's because she pushes me to be my best, and sometimes I'm afraid of that. They say that you have to fail in order to practice being brave. And that's, like, my biggest downfall, is that I'm so afraid that I don't try. She's super understanding. Like, anything I have that another person might be like, wow, I'm not dealing with this. Like, fuck Barbs, whatever. She takes the time to be like, but why is she acting this way? What is triggering her to, being an asshole right now? And so I think, like, the fact that she looks into it, like, tries to, like, read me, it freaks me out because, one, I'm not really used to it. I'm used to just people, like, being like, you know what, you're a handful. Peace. Which is fine because I'm that same way. I don't deal with anyone. Like, if someone is bothering me, I won't talk to them for a week. But, like, she's just so patient with me and just, like, goes in to be like, alright, well, Barb doesn't like this because of this, like, childhood trauma at 7. Like, whatever. Like, she just gets it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, listen, like, if I didn't want this to work out, I would, I'd pick up and leave. Like, it is hard work to keep a relationship going. It was so natural in the beginning, and lately, it seems like we have to try a little bit. And at one point, it felt kind of forced. And I was like, this isn't working. We're forcing this on each other, and it's not working. But then, we took the time apart, and, getting back to it, and it's just like, okay, you know what? I realize that our relationship isn't always going to be easy. That I do have to work to keep you happy. The same way you have to work to keep me happy. I hope that in 5 years that I really have all my shit together. Like, even figuring out what I want to do career-wise. And I hope that we're together. I hope that we're fighting for whatever we want together.
Who pressures you in these stresses? Is it your family? Is it yourself?
I think, like, when it comes to my parents, my dad definitely pulls me back to earth. He's just like, alright, you wanted to do this, but you didn't. So, what's going on? What are you going to do with the rest of it? My dad literally asks me every time we speak what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I'm just like, shit, dude, can we talk later? He's like, it's always later. And I'm like, you're right. And, like, I tell him, I'm like, alright, you're right. Let's sit down, we'll have a cup of coffee, and we just talk about life. And he's not someone to really put the pressure on someone. He's not like an aggressive person at all. He's very easygoing. And so when we do talk, I know that he's just trying to help me, but sometimes I'm just like, Dad, it's not the right time. Like, I'm not having a good day or whatever, like, it may be, or maybe I'm trying to avoid it myself. So that you're putting it in my face, and I'm like, shit, dude. Like, but I know that it comes from the best place possible. Like, my parents are both so good to me. But I'm not happy this way. I can tell you right now. Like, my parents, yeah, they push me, but they're not really up my ass about it. And it's kind of like, right now, I don't feel any pressure to do anything. And for a little bit, it was like, okay, but it's always in the back of my head. I'm constantly thinking, what can I do? Like, you know, and I feel like people think I don't care. It kind of comes off like I don't care, but I do. Like, waking up in the morning and going to bed at night, I'm like, all right, I have to think of a plan. What am I going to do? And I think of all my possible outcomes. And I think right now, like, I'm just waiting. I'm just like, I feel like I'm waiting. And it's not a good feeling. Like, you need pressure to succeed. You need someone to push you. I expected to be more successful in whatever I wanted to do. And I feel like I'm just waiting around and sitting for it. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's weird right now. I feel like I'm, like, in limbo. I feel like, you know, like I'm not doing enough. Like, I could be doing way more. Like, I mean, it's not that I'm unhappy. I'm not necessarily unhappy. But I'm just, you know, I'm just chilling. There's nothing that I wake up in the morning and I'm so excited to do, or something keeping me motivated. Like, I don't have that right now. And I feel like I'm just looking for it everywhere I turn. Like, I'm looking for happiness.
What has surprised you the most about yourself?
Surprised me the most. Honestly, to be alive. Like, I'm surprised I made it this far at 22. Like, that's my, like, as much as it doesn't sound like much, it's a big accomplishment. Honestly, if all goes my way, I'll probably either have joined a branch of the military, have been a cop, and, you know, hopefully maybe starting to start making kids and all that good stuff. But sometimes I look at people with kids and I'm like, oh my god, like, I don't know that I want that. But, like, the reason I want kids is, like, so primitive. It's very, like, my genes need to be passed on. Like, it's not like I don't know. Like, I do want to take my kids to baseball games, but that's not the reason. Don't be afraid of what you could be. Like, it's true, as much as it's so cliche and it sounds like bullshit. If you try hard enough, you will succeed at whatever you try at. Like, it happens to me all the time. I'm afraid of what I could be, and then I do it, and you surprise yourself with how successful you can actually be when you try. Like, you'll be okay. Everything will be fine. As much as, like, you know, right now you're struggling and you're thinking, God, what am I going to do? You're going to be fine. Everything's going to work out in whatever way it should be. Whatever, you know, is meant to be will happen. And, you know, just don't stress the small stuff. Don't stress the girl who won't call you. And, you know, if you and your mom fight that day, she's going to forgive you tomorrow. She's your mom. Like, you know.